let's talk about when you first started your business.
Sure.
What was it like starting out? Did you have this vision of yourself in the shop? Did you always have a vision that you wanted to have a shop, or did you just start making the dolls?
You know, both. Years ago, I sort of had like drawn a little sketch, and it was supposed to be called a Good Things Shop, you know. But yeah, it was a little funny little thing because, of course, I had to spell shop with a double P and an E, you know.
Okay.
But I didn't think about that. You know, there are things that you sort of like think of in your mind, and then you just sort of let them go, and they seem to vanish, although they're still sort of always there in the background. When I left Sony, I knew that I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to develop. I knew that I wanted to express, so I was really clear about that. And I wanted to sort of like develop my own content. And the thing about the record industry, it's you're handed the content. So you know, one day you're doing a rapper out in East Compton, the next day you're shooting Yo-Yo Ma, and so there was so much of a variation in content. And I knew that I just wanted to sort of like create a word, to get a word out. Wow. And so that's why I chose and elected to do the dolls, because I always enjoyed doing things by hand.
But dolls, you know, I do want to take a pause for a second and just tell the audience, yes, Cozbi and I used to work together in the music industry. And I remember talking to you a couple of years ago, and you were saying how when you were in the industry, you felt like you didn't hear your own voice. You needed your own voice. And did you feel like that was kind of expressed through the dolls?
Absolutely.
And why dolls? Why did you start with dolls?
You know, it could have been anything, I think. You know, I did focus on the dolls. There was something almost magical about creating them, because it allowed me to bring in sort of like old-fashioned quilting techniques. You know, like some of the head pieces would be done out of sort of miniaturized yo-yos, which are, you know, oftentimes used in, you know, in folk quilting. It allowed me to paint. You know, I would hand paint their faces and almost treat the linen face as a canvas. You know, it allowed me to play with materials and textures. So I felt there wasn't any real limit to what I could do, you know, crafting these three-dimensional items. And it's really funny because I'm now doing women's clothing, but most of, you know, my skill and the mastery for pattern making came about by doing these miniature sort of like doll forms. Wow. You know, and creating the bodies and the costuming.
Which are phenomenal.
Well,
they're absolutely phenomenal.